Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of. What's this venue called? One sec.
What you doing?
What's this? It doesn't say it. Goddamn. Anyway, here we go. Here we go. Welcome to another episode of Kingdom of Apples.
That took you 5 minutes?
Because, I mean, this venue doesn't have a name.
Yes, it does. It's something
No, it
with like the
doesn't.
new
Shut. No, stop. Why? I'm being a mean bully, Saskia. Like, look at this bully on live. Wow. Banned.
Woke up there and I didn't hear from it anyway.
Welcome to another episode of Kingdom of Apples, the changeling venue for Living World of Darkness. Today, tonight, in the evening, in the morning.
It's like the Star Wars movie, but better.
Whatever you prefer. As it's a very rude Pooka continues to talk over me. We set the scene at a humble-looking shop within the top floor of Goblin Town. And Terry, a teeny little childling, very new to the changeling ways, has been invited to browse by the ever magnanimous broker Edenworks, which was not actually the name he gave you upon meeting you, if you recall.
So, being invited by this person that Terry doesn't know,
he'll also give you. You may also you may also know me as.
Oh.
This other guy.
Well, this other guy, that's fine. Yeah, sure, why not? Terry will show up. Probably way later than expected. Not necessarily because Terry wasn't there on time, but more because, first time Goblin Town, I can't imagine not getting lost.
Well, Goblin Town, yeah, it's a big place. Worse still, it's a very busy place. When it's open, it's a bustling mess of just crowds of people walking to and from one destination to another. The endless cajoling and pejoratives issued by knockers on both a good and a bad day, and also the fact that it's not just people running down the streets. There's some sort of individual forms of transportation running around. Likely one guy walking in some sort of armored mech, another person riding some sort of hover bike fueled by glamour, and another person just riding one of those bicycles with the really big wheels at the front. There's an endless amount of diversity and wonder to Goblin Town. You can also hear a few explosions.
Oh boy.
But it's okay, everything is fine.
Mm-hmm.
And you take well, there's probably a lift to the top floor. Or stairs, you could just take the stairs. Stairs that literally kind of don't even go in any real coherent direction. They just kind of go back and forth and then down slightly, then up again.
Okay, so
it's a very creative layout.
After researching, finding our way, taking some time, like I said, probably like at least an hour late, Terry will arrive at the store that him was meant to visit.
Yeah, you stop outside of a shop. One second, let me double check the name because I did give it a name. Okay, I haven't brought it up. Okay, that's good. You stop outside a shop. With big, with it's kind of a it's as expressed in this image here. It's kind of like a corner shop. It exists on a corner. It's a bit taller than it is lot wide, but it does stretch down the street a little bit. And it has a kind of just above the sort of viewing window into the store with several items on display. Weapons of various descriptions, ornate looking scoped rifles, matching pistols, a crossbow with this sort of silver trimming, and just above the viewing window there are these nailed or screwed to wood are these big brassy this big gold brassy display stating Eden Core, best arms in Goblin Town, is in a tiny little is a kind of like a small little sentence beneath the big Eden Core shop name. And there is a door just to the left of the viewing window, big enough for a troll to get in without any particular trouble. Because we if nothing else here at Goblin Town care about good quality customer service. Best customer service in Goblin Town.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So after watching in amazement of like a mechanical fish with something or someone in it passing the street, Terry will, open the door for so slightly and get in, close the door, and just for a moment closes their eyes as Terry is like, wow, this is one overwhelming place. Before, taking a step into the store and waiting for the amazement to continue.
As you enter, like a little bell goes off. It's actually really quiet in here right now. There's nobody else in the store. You kind of go in as somebody else goes to leave. You almost bump into them, but it's no big deal. It seems he seems to be grumbling about some sort of metal ingot. Don't really know what the hell he's talking about. This isn't a metal. This isn't a shop for materials or metal ingots, but there he is grumping about metal ingots. There's also some sort of slightly oversized looking phone in at the till area, connected to the wall. And it's less wired up more than it is connected via pipes.
Cool. Terry, by the way, is kind of tossing in one hand a pebble. And is just gonna browse until they find like the person that invited them there.
Yeah, at Telaria you see this man, gentleman, same as you saw him before, but this time in his true glory, rather than being overlaid over a overlaid over a human skin.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "Well, you are late." Or rather,
Um,
"Well, you are late."
a wizard is never late. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Well, well, I'm sure you look. Okay, only a moment. Well, I'm sure you did arrive when you meant to, but it doesn't change the fact that you are late.
Am I a wizard?
Well, probably not, which means you are definitely late. I
Most
close
definitely
up
am
in
not.
about 40 minutes. Side eye.
Well, then I have 40 minutes and I'm not too late.
Nope, just almost.
Almost doesn't count.
I
But this is
disagree.
where you live?
Oh no, this is where I do business, but it's always very quiet around closing time. Everybody wants to leave Goblin Town before the gates close, otherwise it gets swept up and away with the town itself.
Of course. Yep, totally saw that coming. So, what is this place? Is this Goblet's Town?
Goblin Town or my store?
Both. Or neither.
Well, Goblin Town is. Well, it's a town created by many knockers who came together after they were being, shall we say, not treated in the most compassionate of ways.
Uh-huh.
You see, we are a coalition of businessmen. I must be honest, I am a more recent addition to the freehold of Goblin Town. I suppose I should mention that it is a very powerful freehold, but yes, it is a coalition of Knocker businessmen who, after well, I'm not sure if you've heard of them, but the Trade Federation, who are well, based all around the city, but also most heavily in the Bronx. We are
Yeah.
forcing very unfavorable business conditions upon an individual knockers businessmen of the city. Not to say that all knockers are part of Goblin Town, but I digress. They came together to create a Goblin Town, a massive flying freehold. You see, the Trade Federation was trying to restrict the movement of the patrons of these knockers, so we decided to create a freehold that would come to our patrons. And so we have created effectively a nomadic freehold that settles in various places throughout the trods of the dreaming, anchors itself, and we conduct business for a set amount of time every day and make a very tidy living doing so.
Okay. Makes so much sense. You sell?
Oh, I sell guns and swords and gun swords and the occasional crossbow. Do you sell pebbles? He looks at the pebble.
No.
You do or
Diamond.
what?
It's a diamond.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay.
Sorry, squeak.
Well, be careful, furniture. That is quite expensive.
Oh, right. Even the furniture here is expensive?
Quite so. I spent a pretty penny setting up this shop.
I see. So, why the invitation?
Oh, just to have a friendly chat, make connections. You seem well. I've been told you are fairly new to the life, so I thought I'd just give you a taste of somewhat what the changeling life has to offer,
I
which would
told
be
you that.
guns and swords and gun swords.
I told you that. I'm old as nails. Ancient almost.
Nails can also be quite young.
I'm ancient. Ancient and forever, that's me.
Well, I am glad to have such a long-lived compatriot with me now.
Yes, you're most welcome. So, what's a gun sword?
It's a gun attached to a sword. One moment, one moment. I actually don't have any on display. He just pulls a button, and behind the till area, there's like a set of like kind of grates or metal blinds, and once he pushes the button, you hear a small hiss of steam from around the frame of the back wall, and it begins to lift off from about halfway up the wall, and revealing a rather large assortment of much heavier weapons. And he takes one from the wall, a pistol. This, for example, you could call a gun blade. It's a rather small variation, but I'm quite proud of it. It's quite a new innovation creating modular weapons like this. I must say, I'm quite proud of myself. And what he does is he pulls like a little trigger on the gun, usually like normally where the safety would be, but instead of it turning on the safety, actually you see it disassemble and reassemble into a knife within the span of about a second to half a second. So it's very, very quick.
Okay. Wow, how much does that sell in the black market?
Well, I don't sell them in the black market, but I can only assume it would be cheaper than here, considering it is a black market.
Hmm.
Hmm. Well, transforming weapons usually cost around 12 to about a dozen to 20 dross. It depends on the quality of the work, and
And
obviously being two weapons in one and having various
what's
strategic advantages.
and what's the currency rate? Between a trust and a dollar. Like what?
I don't I don't I'm pretty sure we don't do currency exchange between
Hmm.
mundane mortal money. I have plenty of that.
I don't know this trust thing you're talking about.
Oh well, dross is basically solid glamour. We use it as money.
Right.
Although it comes in all forms and sizes, it's very individual to the person. So, for example, take out um, he'll take out something out of his pocket. It's just a It's it's actually quite a large, how to put it. It's like a supersized quarter. Twice as dense and 4 times as large. And it has the emblem of a knife and a sword on one side, and the more archetypal. Actually, no, it's not archetypal. It's just his face mask on another. And he just kind of flips it or kind of flicks it onto the table. It kind of, makes that typical light metal sound as it's flicked into the air and lands on the table. That, for example, that right there is a dross. 1 dross, to be precise. And it is my dross. You can tell largely because it is, well, its design is specific to myself.
And, Terry will pick up the dross and will hold it up as to compare.
Oh, no, he won't. He can't let you do that.
Okay.
So,
I will attempt to do so.
look, no touch.
Oh, okay. Suit yourself.
Yes, dross is. This looks like a standard coin, but dross is, shall we say, far more scarce than regular mortal currency. And if you ever create dross, is you can create it in the same way that you create glamour, by inspiring mortals in various ways, or bringing them some form of despair. I prefer inspiration personally, but you'll find that it is a unique design, something specific to yourself.
Okay.
For example, I have seen dross in the form of snow globes, others in the form of glass flowers. It's all quite quite wonderful. I'm actually quite interested to see what form your dross will take.
The dragon.
Oh well, I've seen a dragon dross before, but I'm sure it would be a great dragon.
Oh yeah, totally. Biggest of them all.
Yes. Well, you'll need that. Will be a lot of dross.
Yeah, well, I'm planning to have a lot of it.
Oh, interesting. Then we may be able to do business in the future.
Who knows? I mean, I kind of thought that was why you would want me here.
Well, that too, but I mean, I don't want to coerce anyone into buying from my store or trick them, manipulate them. That's a terrible business practice. And well, frankly, I mean, considering your newness to our society, it would be wiser for me to tread lightly. I wouldn't want to be seen handling you unfairly in any way or exploiting your lack of knowledge, for that would be most rude.
Most definitely.
So I'd rather introduce you to our system of currency before taking it from you.
Well, fair enough, fair enough. So how do we go about that?
Well, that depends. My good sir, how much dross do you have? And I can point you in the direction of what would be available for purchase. I must say that most of the wares here are quite premium, so you'll probably be looking at wanting Around 5 dross, but I'm sure I can find something for you.
I'm sure I'll have it somewhere. Or we could make a deal.
Well, that entirely depends on the deal. I normally don't haggle, but
Mm,
I am open to business negotiations.
haggling is for losers, but I'm sure, we might
Agreed.
come to some arrangement that would be profitable for both of us.
I'll be quite interested in hearing your proposal.
I don't know what you need.
He thinks.
Though, in all honesty, I don't really. There's always that thing in the Bronx that, I believe that I can't have a weapon there. So I don't think I can purchase one of your items without, some illegal issues to solve.
I could make you a stick that turns into a sword. Or a stick that turns into a gun. That one might be harder. I haven't tried it with non-weapons.
A stick, and Terry kind of tosses the pebble up and down in her
Or a
hand.
pebble.
And a slingshot. Would you make me a slingshot?
I could potentially make you a slingshot.
Because I'm sure that'll seem harmless.
Well, yes, it is a children's toy. At least is the
Exactly.
common perception.
I
But
like that
what,
idea.
in exchange, would you be willing to offer?
I mean, can go for something like a simple deal, you having like a month of free drinks at my bar, or I could look into something else, like maybe at some point you need to purchase something in your lifetime, and I could obtain that for you potentially, like.
What if you'd allow me to, or put up some advertisements to your bar within your put up some advertisements within your bar, or perhaps
Mhm.
you could refer some of your patrons to myself.
Yeah.
Would that be amenable to your interests?
It's no big problem for me, and I can do some advertising. I happen to be very good with words. So,
He
would you like, like posters or flyers, or just mouth recommendations? What's it that you have in mind?
hmm, recommendations and posters, I think, would be more than sufficient.
All right. Do you have posters, or is it up to me
I
to
can
design
have
stuff?
some printed for you. Do not worry.
That sounds like a perfect deal. Would you happen to be able to make me a slingshot before this tournament?
I'll see what I can do. I usually have a good idea for timelines once I've begun the work. So once I've gotten a day or two into it, I'll be able to give you a proper deadline.
That is fine.
Excellent.
And Terry, will spit into their hands. So we have a deal. Hold out her hand.
One second, I can't. Why is it? There you go. Broker just kind of considers for one last moment the details of the deal that makes you a slingshot, and you basically recommend him. And
I have one addendum though. I will run your commercials in my bar, posters, recommendations, stuff like that. Until you basically don't need it anymore, which is probably never, because, in exchange, you make me the slingshot. If for some reason it breaks, I can come to you for free repairs.
that is more than a fair arrangement.
Very good. Terry will, again, spit in their hand and hold it out.
At this time, Broker will shake it.
Okay. Let me roll for contracts.
Lol.
Which,
does that actually manifest like in a way that's visible? Not that it really matters too much, to be honest.
I think you will notice
from the get-go, but
I mean, yeah, I think you will feel that contract is being made.
Awesome.
There's a 9 there. I think that means it works.
Yeah, I think it's like difficulty 8 normally if you're not using a bug.
Yeah. I mean, basically, the spitting in the hands is like a small bug, but...
Do you have the realm for him, though?
Faye?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Just double checking. Yeah, he's just a Fae commoner, so... Easy. Easy mark.
So, yeah, there is a slight sensation that the that your hand is getting wet. It's almost as if you can see sort of, a little bit of water kind of, dripping from both their hands. And then that kind of stops and kind of ebbs away. Cool.
I'm so glad to see a new enterprising individual within the dreaming.
Yeah. Well, you gotta make out of it what you make out of it.
I prefer to make out with cash and gold.
I mean, cash and gold is all good and well. Ultimately, if I uphold my part of the deal, you should get more customers. So technically, by closing this deal, you have more chance on your gold than by selling me a slingshot.
Indeed, righto. Well, Felix is well, it is 30 seconds until closing time, so I wouldn't want you to get swept away with the parade in town now.
That would be...
I'm sure your mentor would be quite concerned, and that would end very poorly for you. It is the Bronx.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to take up more of your time. I hope you're content with our arrangements.
Oh, most satisfied.
Very well.
I'll get to work on the slingshot immediately, and hopefully I shall have it in ready for you in time for the tournament. But even in the case of such circumstances not allowing for that, I shall at least warn you in advance.
For me in advance for what? Sorry.
But you didn't tell him that, so doesn't matter.
What? Ask him if it could be ready for before the tournament. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you did, yeah.
Yeah.
In which case, yeah, he'll continue and just say he'll at least give you advance warning if he can't, but he hopes that he can. He seems fairly confident.
That's all I was hoping for. Well, it was nice doing business with you, and I'll hope to see you soon. Are you actually going to enter into the tournament?
I shall be entering the archery contest.
Great, me too.
Fascinating.
Best archer in town.
Fascinating.
Yes, I know.
Well, it's yeah, the Goblin Town bells of closing time begin to go off. It's like you can hear it on like the big monitors on screen of like this ultra cheery knocker going, "It's closing time, boys and girls. We hope you had a fantastic day at Goblin Town."
Oh yeah, Terry will.
Please come again, or please fly again. For those who got trapped the last time. And he's like, for those who got trapped, I mean, boarded with us the last time. And like, it's in big, like, megaphones all across Goblin Town. You can just hear it ringing everywhere. You can even hear it from within the store.
So yeah, Terry will, shake hands and ring-a-ling-ling. We'll leave again and we'll try and find the nearest exit. See you around. Don't hesitate to drop by.
Yeah, he'll just kind of wave you off as you kind of close the door. And yeah, you kind of hurry down the multitude of streets, back down however the hell you got up here to be, whatever means you, however method you got up here to begin with, which is like there are 5 different wildly inefficient methods. And just make it out the entrance to, or the exit to Goblin Town in time. Mere seconds before they close, and you can see Goblin Town begin to rise up and take off like a floating island, and slowly rocket away into New York.
Terry will watch it disappear. Still kind of, tossing up Pebble and catching it again. And when it's like fully out of sight, we'll head back to the Bronx. Or to a bar.
Goblin Town is like playing some sort of weird 50s country music as it flies away.
Terrible.
And yeah, as it goes, and Terry watches. I think that's where we'll end our scene. Thank you, Per, for playing. Thank you, watchers. Well, players for playing, because I'm going to thank myself. That's right. Not Megalomaniac. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. We'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.